Hey, this is Connie with the Artisan Company, and welcome back to the channel. Let's go see what's on the desk. Welcome back to the Artisan Company. This is Simple Holiday Earrings Part 2. Okay. The next one we are going to be doing, the first video I did were very simple, 15 minutes or less, and you can have a fabulous pair of earrings. These you might can do in 15 minutes or less as well. But let's get started and I'll tell you what you got to have for this pair. First, you will need a couple of ear wires, obviously. You'll need a couple of head pins. You will need two 3mm finishing beads, and I'm choosing copper because of the color choices that I'm using, but couple of 3mm finishing beads. You'll need two 6mm bead caps, and I've chose copper because of the color that I'm doing. Okay, you'll need two of these. Then you will need three 4mm bead caps, and I'm choosing silver. I'm mixing my metal colors in this, which is going to make it a different kind of holiday earring, because you don't see a lot of mixed metals in holiday earrings. You usually see all gold or all silver, and I decided to do gold, silver, and copper in this one. So you'll need three of those. And then you'll need two 10 by 15mm bead caps. Now, this one right here, is this not the most stunning bead cap? Oh my goodness. I got these at Joann's when I was on vacation. So I'm sure they still have some, and they probably have some online. They come four in a package. They're about $8 a package, and they come in gold and silver. So you get two golds and two silvers in each package. Fantastic. I mean, just beautiful. When I saw them, I thought, I cannot leave that there. So I picked those up, but you can use any 10 by 15mm decorative bead cap that you want to. Okay. This is just what I'm using with my project. Joann's is where I got those. Okay. The next thing you'll need is a couple of 9 by 11 glass beads, which is this one right here. And oh my goodness, it's faceted. Look at that. Got these from Michael's, and they came in a string of 11. They're about $9 a string, unless you catch a sale, obviously. This strand had the amber and the kind of a green color in it, but are these not beautiful? Oh my goodness. This will be a necklace to go with these earrings once I'm finished. And I decided to do the amber ones with this particular thing, and to go with the gold that's in the bead cap. Michael's is where I got these. So you'll need a couple of those. And then you'll need a couple of 6mm cut glass, which was this. And remember, I told you in the last one, I got this at Michael's as well. It's Czechoslovakian crystal. And you can see how beautiful this is. It's about $10 a strand. But the Czechoslovakian crystal to me is really beautiful. And you know, because Swarovski's changing all their rules, or have changed all their rules and stuff. So a lot of things are selling out and getting hard to get unless you're part of their big, huge program. But anyway, you know, the Czech crystal is absolutely stunning, and I use a lot of it. And you can get this at Michael's and online as well. So, all right. And then, believe it or not, the last thing you're going to need is two 10 by 8 cut glass drops. Now, this little guy right here, you're going to laugh when you hear this. I found this at my local Walmart jewelry counter in their craft section. And I picked that up, and it had crystals on the, it just said crystals on the bag. And I picked it up and I said, oh my gosh, look at those. And so I brought them home, I cleaned them up, and they are absolutely stunning. And it was $1 a bag. Okay. There were several in there. So believe it or not, this came from Walmart. So you just never know what you're going to find. And I look everywhere for beads. Nothing is off limits. Nowhere is off limits. If I think there's a bead there, I'm going to find it. But anyway, so this is all you need to make this pair. Okay, let's get started. So you can see what it looks like. Look at this, guys. Oh my, is that not beautiful? And this is a different kind of holiday earring. It's a mixed metal color with different crystals and glass. And oh my, it is just beautiful. It's not a teeny tiny little earring, it's a statement earring. And then I also did a pair, just so you can see, in the silver. And that's what the silver ones look like. Now, the green beads that you see in there, I got those at Fire Mountain. And if you go to Fire Mountain and look at their fire polished, Czechoslovakian fire polished beads, you can find every color under the sun and every size under the sun. Beautiful, beautiful beads. And that's where the green ones came from in this, with the exception of that big fat one. That one came from Michael's. So I've already done one in the silver cap, and now today we're going to do one in the gold cap, and we're going to mix our metals. And here we go. All right, first off, take your head pin, and you're going to put that little tiny 3 millimeter finishing bead on the bottom. Now, and like I said, you don't have to mix your metals, and you can use any kind of bead cap that you want to, like this. It's fine. But I'm mixing metals in this one for today's demonstration. All right, your little 3 millimeter bead cap on there, and then you're going to put one of the little 4 millimeter bead caps on there, and it's going to hug the bottom of that piece of crystal I got at Walmart. Okay, and it should look like that, or whatever you're using should be in this process. And then another little tiny 4 millimeter bead cap on top of that. Then you're going to slide on the 6 millimeter bead cap, because it's going to hug this big bead right here. So it should look like this. Then take your big faceted fat cut glass rondelle, and it should look like that. Are these just not stunning? Oh my gosh, I cannot wait to do the necklace. Anyway, okay, so sorry, squirrel. Okay, then the next thing you're going to do is take your decorative bead cap, and look at the bottom of that. Oh my, is that beautiful? And it goes on the top like so. So it should look like that. All right, then the next thing you're going to do is you're going to take your 6 millimeter piece of glass or crystal, and it fits down in the top of that cap like that. Then you're going to put on your finishing cap on the top, just like that. Okay, so that's where we are in this process. Next up, all right, getting ready to make that loop on the top and finish this little puppy up. Bend it just a little like that. If you have a looper, now's the time to use it. If not, you'll be doing what I'm doing, which is fine. Everybody has their way of doing things, and it's okay, whatever you choose. I looked at that one backwards. I'm not looking at this under a magnifying glass, and I need to be. All right, I've got it. All right, making sure it's level and closed and straight. Okay, there we go. Last thing is putting on your little ear wire. Gonna open up your ear wire, slide it on there like so, close up the ear wire, and there you go. Oh, I didn't get it closed good, just about. Don't leave any holes. And there it is. Look at this. Oh my, it's beautiful. And of course, when you put it on a stand to, I didn't do this yet, but when you put it on a stand, uh, stand back from it and look at it to make sure all of your loops on the top are all level and the same, everything's straight. You don't have a curve or anything in your wire. Make sure it's all straight. All right, so here we go. We've got a gold and copper with a little silver mixed metal, and then we have just the silvery and the green. Oh my goodness, guys. I may have to make myself a pair of these because I love statement earrings, and statement holiday earrings are the best because that sometimes it's all you have to wear. All right, so hope you enjoyed this little section. We're getting ready to do another one right after this. Here we go. Okay, here we go with earring number 2 in this video. We're going to do something a little different because not everybody likes a lot of shiny bling. A lot of people like what I call strategic bling. that's that's kind of me. I'm a strategic bling person, but anyway, not everybody wants all crystal and all glass or whatever. Sometimes they want something a little more natural mixed in with it. So what I did today, and you can use any stone that you like, but I did this earring with some Amazonite stone, and oh my goodness, look at this. This is a what I would call a very strategic bling. There's not a lot of stuff in it. The stone is the focal point, but the rest of it enhances the stone. So here's where we're going with this so you can see it. And you can use any stone you want. You can do turquoise. You can do anything. You can do a big chunk of crystal in there if you want to. Whatever is your heart's desire. But this is where we're headed. So let me put this right here and I'll tell you what you gotta have to do it. Okay, so this stone right here is a 14 by 20 millimeter kind of square stone. You can see that it's kind of a square. But oh my goodness, it's Amazonite stone. And like I said, you can use turquoise, you can use onyx, you can use hematite, any carnelian, any stone you want to use in there, whatever's your favorite. But this is a 14 by 20 millimeter. I actually got these at Stones and Silver, and I'm pretty sure they're sold out. However, Amazonite you can get pretty readily. So if you just put in your search engine at your favorite store or whatever, 14 by 20 millimeter Amazonite beads, you can put square or freeform, however, and they'll show you tons of shapes. Okay, so you'll need that. You'll need 2 bead cages, and this one right here is pewter, and I've got this at Fire Mountain, and it's there in stock. But it's a pewter bead cage, and I just thought it was beautiful. It's 18 millimeter in size, very large, and I just fell in love with it. And I said, I'm gonna do something with that. So you'll need a couple of these. You'll need 2 ear wires, obviously. You will need 2 head pins and 2 eye pins. So you're going to need both head pins and eye pins for this one. You will need 4 3 millimeter finishing beads. You will need 4 6 millimeter bead caps. You will need 2 7 millimeter bead caps or 8 millimeter bead caps. You will need 2 6 millimeter pieces of cut glass or crystal, and this is the Czechoslovakian crystal that I've used in everything so far that we've done. 6 millimeter, and this is a 4 millimeter. So you'll need 2 of the 6 millimeter and 2 of the 4 millimeter. And then you'll need a couple of rondelles. This one is crystal, 6 millimeter crystal rondelle. You'll need a couple of those. Okay. So this is all you need for this particular project. So let's get started. We're going to make the little bottom piece right here first. It looks like a little cluster of grapes almost. And actually, this right here, depending on the size of your beads, even this little tiny, just this little section would make a beautiful little drop earring, little tiny thing. If you used larger crystals, it'd be even prettier too. So it kind of looks like a cluster of grapes. We're going to do that first. So take your head pin right here, and then you're going to start with the little 3 millimeter bead on the bottom right there. Then your 4 millimeter round crystal or glass. Then you'll put on your 6 millimeter crystal or glass, whatever you're using. Is that Czechoslovakian crystal is just beautiful. Look at that. Then you're going to put on a 6 millimeter bead cap on top of that. So it should look like that. Then we're going to clip off the excess. Like that. And then we're going to make a loop. If you have a looper, you can use that. If not, make you a loop. I keep doing these sideways. Probably because I'm looking at it sideways. All right, let me straighten it up a little bit. There it goes. Close it up a little better. There we are. All right, so there you should have your little cluster of grapes there on the bottom. Make sure that I got it straight. Yes. All right. The next thing you will do is you're going to connect your cluster of grapes to your head pin. Okay. That's the next thing we're going to do. So open up your little head pin there on the little bottom part. I'm sorry, your eye pin, the one with the little loop on the bottom, the eye pin. You're going to open it up and you're going to add your little cluster of grapes to the bottom of it and then close it up. So it should look like that. All right, next step. We are going to connect this little cluster of grapes right here to the rest of the earring. So you're going to take your larger bead cap, put it on the bottom like so. Okay. Then you're going to take your stone, and whichever side is the flattest on this, it's this one on this particular piece of stone. This is the flatter side, so I'm going to put it on the bottom where it hooks like that. Okay, you can see. All right. Then the next thing you're going to do is add your bead cage. Now you can bend these if you feel like you need to take a plier and bend these in a little bit so they'll fit a little more snugly to your stone. You can do that. That's an option that you have. You don't have to do that, but you can if you want to in this particular instance using this bead cage like this. Of course, you can close them all the way up and put a stone in there if you want to, if you're just using it as a bead cage. But anyway, that's the next step right there. Okay. Then you're going to put in your little flat. I'm sorry, not your flat. You're going to put on the other 6 millimeter bead cap because we're closing up the hole that's on the top of the bead cage. Then you will add your little rondelle. This one's the little crystal rondelle that I have. And then the last little finishing bead goes on the top like that. Now you can do this too. If you don't want to put a finishing bead up here, put a itty bitty tiny bead cap, 3 millimeter, something like that on the top, whatever fits your bead here. If you want to do that, you can do that as well, and it's pretty too. Okay, so here we are, got everything together. Last step. Last step here, we're going to clip the excess wire off right here. Make sure you have enough in there that you can loop and have a nice loop on the top. I keep looking at it and gauging it. All right, I'm going to clip it about right there. All right. This is a very different kind of holiday earring. It's not the typical norm, like even what I did earlier in the other video and what I did earlier on this video. It's just not the same. It's for people who want something that's a little more organic looking. And I do have Amazonite stones, and yes, you know, I'm going to make a necklace out of this. What's left to go with this, with a little bit of bling in it. Okay, so you got the loop on the top. Now, one of the things that I do, you don't have to do this, but I do it because I've just done it for ever and ever and ever. Okay, so what I'm going to do before I put my ear wire on is I'm going to turn this piece right here and this loop down on the bottom here where your grape cluster is connected to. I call it a grape cluster. I'm going to make sure that they are both going the same direction. That's just something I do, which makes the little cluster loop go this way around. So I'm going to make sure that this loop and this loop are both going the same way. And it doesn't take very much to line them up. All right. I've got it on the top, and I'm taking my flat nose here on the bottom, pushing that up just a smidgen and just turning it. It doesn't take a lot. And there you go. It's lined up already. And you can see right here, the loops are lined up, and the bottom little cluster of grapes is hanging that way. Okay. Last thing, putting on this little ear wire here. And this project will be done. Now, when you're putting this on here, make sure that you're putting it on where your looping goes to the back of the ear wire. I'll show you in just a second what I mean by that. You close this up. Ain't hardly held on to it. Okay, so we are done with this. Now your loop here on your little cluster of grapes, make sure the back of it, where you closed it up, faces the back and not the front. That's just a pet peeve of mine. But in the finishing end of it, it looks so much prettier because you don't have that where it's closed up. Okay, so here we are. For those of you who don't like just ultra amounts of bling, but you want a statement earring, this is it. This would be beautiful with a sweater of some kind. Um, just the earring alone would be beautiful. Any kind of stone, you can use any kind of stone with this. Like I was saying, turquoise, onyx, hematite, any of the big chunks of crystal, big chunks of glass. It doesn't matter, just whatever floats your boat. But anyway, this is earring number 2 for this particular video. So we've done 4 holiday earrings total that you can do in 20 minutes or less. So, yes, I hope you enjoyed this. Yes, you know it. I'm going to be doing some holiday necklaces to match all this stuff too. Things you can do very quickly, but have a big bang for your buck and an impression on everyone when you walk in the room. Okay, I'll see you on the next video. Bye.